raising an issue that I'm sure everyone in this room has given a good deal of thought to. And that is, what kind of political landscape are we going to see in the world during the next generation, the generation that you will be managing, whether you're in government or in the corporate world or in the nonprofit world? We have a changing international scenario in front of us. American power is declining. Chinese power is rising. I would argue that European power is declining. Some developing countries, the BRICS, and I put an S at the end of BRIC because I think South Africa ought to be included. And maybe some other BRICS. Indonesia, I think, is a power waiting to happen. Malaysia. Mexico. Nigeria, even with its problems. Egypt. So, and I think Ukraine. So I think we're going to see in your generation a very different distribution of power, political, economic, and military, from the world that we have inherited and that we have worked in. So I think it's going to be, myself believe that a redistribution of power can be managed peacefully. I do not believe that conflict is inevitable, but we're all going to have to work to manage that transformation peacefully. With that, I will close. I am envious. I wish I were doing a model UN with you this weekend. And maybe I can actually wrangle an invitation to come back and maybe just sit on the sidelines. Thank you very much.
I'll have two follow-up questions prepared in advance, and I'll share with you. Since you were so generous to keep reminding me of the fact that I'm old, I want to ask you the first question. Then and now, there were a lot of protests, and a lot of young people were drawn to the street, and a lot of people were drawn to public service. And if you were advising these students about what is the proper agent of change, what mix of going to the street versus working from the inside, can you really change the world from the inside, if that's what your goal is to do? Because I know some of these young people would very much like to do that. And I did do it at their age and still do.
I suspect everybody in this room wants to change the world. Let me be honest with you, and you may not like my answer. I think you can most effectively change the world from the inside. I have seen governments change from inside. Let me give you one example. I come out of a human rights background and a democracy background. I remember when the first American president, President Carter, put human rights, placed a high priority on human rights in his foreign policy. That had never been done before, never in the history of the United States. And frankly, most other countries didn't put a priority on human rights either. It was extremely controversial, but he kept at it. He was followed by President Reagan, who I would argue also put a priority on human rights, implemented it differently, and now it is broadly accepted in the United States, both political parties implementing it, but change happened from inside, not out on the street. This was a result of an American president and his staff making change happen.